Hi, editing Persephone here. Small note before the episode starts. So, I tried to use a new program to do this episode with my special guest, and as a result of that, the audio is not great. I will do better next time. Thank you so much for listening. On to the episode. Today, I am joined by a great friend of mine, Satch.
Hello.
Hi. Today we have some more Reddit stories for you. Thanks for joining me. Let's dive in.
Of course.
Phenomena. Okay, here we go. So this first story is going to come from r/boomers being fools.
Oh,
it was reposted.
I love this one.
Right? It was reposted onto Best of Redditor updates. Again, I only get my stories from Best of Redditor updates because I like to have the whole story if I can help it. This was originally posted on July 17th, 2024. Here we go. Just happened and I'm kind of mind boggled, so I thought I'd share. I'm taking my work van through an automatic car wash. There's the entrance with power jets for the underside. Middle part has a main washing arm that circles the cars, and the end has a blower to dry off. Entrance and exit doors automatically close before and during use. Probably also because it's a sketchy area to leave it open. 1 second. Hold on. I need to turn my volume down so I can actually hear you. Okay. There we go. So my van is just finishing the wash and the dryer kicks on and exit opens. A wild boomer appears. Brown slacks, earth tones golf shirt, and a minty condition poop brown trucker hat to accessorize his walking cane. He gestures at me with a lot of smiling waves, then makes the roll down your window gesture as I approach. Buddy, my van is soaked in water everywhere. I'm not opening my windows to say hi until maybe after, if you're lucky. Good news for him, as when I do fully exit, I have to step out to refasten an antenna. So I turn around to ask what's up. Old bugger has now hurried inside past the blowers, yelling now about how hot they are, swearing his ass off. I guess he left something inside? Fuck if I care. Well, because my car is past the exit sensors, the door shuts before the guy can react or hear me. But I heard his oh shit exclamation. He waddles toward me and then, lucky him, someone else is about to use it. Exit door stays shut, entrance opens. High pressure jets start at entrance and the middle washer part starts up, and boomer runs the I'm an idiot, get soaked and soaked gauntlet. I was pulling away and watched the new washer be kind enough to let him out the entrance. But he was soaked head to toe. Best part about the visual is now his hat looks like fresh poop. What a guy. Why would you run inside a car wash?
What was the goal?
Right. Why would you... Okay, so it's a car wash.
Do you know where you are?
You can't go inside of a car wash. Why would you run inside you couldn't have left anything there. It's a car wash.
And why were you trying to talk to someone who was also inside the car wash?
Right. And this isn't like a person you know. This is a stranger.
That's what I thought. Is that it was someone that they would know.
Right. You don't even know this guy. This is a complete stranger. Ow. So he fully...
Insane.
I'm trying to get in the headspace so I can understand what's happening. Why? It's a car wash. Whatever you left, it can't be that important.
Surely not.
And if it is, you could have just told someone, the people running it, they could have shut it down for you to grab your stuff. It would have took 5 minutes. Why did you run inside? Oh, there's an update. Okay. Update.
Update. What he wanted was.
The update was posted July 19th, 2024. Update, didn't see justice coming. Okay, as I mentioned in comments in the original post, I'm a regular at this wash and decided today I'd try and get footage for laughs. Well, I didn't get any, but I got more to add, and once again, I'm stunned by karma coming back. So, today, I asked the cashier if they keep security cam footage available to staff, and I quickly run down my encounter with the weird boomer yesterday. She says it was a whole incident after I left, and like an excited child, she had all my attention on this and was not disappointed. Remember, the boomer was mad and had pain as he stumble ran around inside as it fired up during his daring escape? Yeah, Boomer did a bigger boomer and apparently was swinging his cane around like a bat to beat the automatic wash into submission to aid his escape. Guess he got a decent swing with a weapon because he actually broke the middle washer arm, and they had to refund the kind soul that followed me through the wash and free Bam Bam the Boom Boom.
What
So
the
they
fuck?
had some, huh?
What the fuck?
Right? So they had some footage, all right, but they called the police on him. The angry wet boomer apparently left by walking off the property before he could be nabbed. I guess. I like that he had a wet walk home for his effort. However, when the police got to the wash to respond, they claimed the footage for use in a criminal investigation on the boomer. But that wasn't all, and it's so funny I almost wonder if the cashier was putting me on. Apparently, the boomer decided to let the staff have his opinion on his service today, but it was the exact moment later that the cops were interviewing the staff and taking the footage. The cashier said the cop asked her for a description, and he just walked in, so she pointed at him and says, "That guy." He got hauled out of the storefront immediately and taken away, but the cashier said she overhears his defense on why he broke the car wash. And I'm sorry, I just died. Self-defense. I don't know if she's putting it on or not, but after yesterday, I both chose to believe and don't know why I should embellish anyway. Did not see this ending coming. Sorry, no footage as it's a criminal thing now. But maybe one day it'll go public or hit the local news or something. And I'll 101% share it if I see it. LOL.
That's amazing.
Again, what was the end goal?
You know.
And if he walked home, that means he didn't go through the car wash. He didn't bring a car. Why were you there? I don't understand old people.
Me either.
You didn't have a car. You walked in.
And just to fuck shit up and get your ass handed to you by a washing machine.
It's a car wash. What are you? It's literally a car wash. What is there to grab? Even if you did have a car, you opened up your windows in a car wash? Weird shit. We're gonna move on to the next one. I can't comprehend that. Am I the asshole for threatening to kick out my niece after she hacked my daughter's Roblox account? I'm gonna go ahead and say like a soft, not the asshole, just because.
Because why would you hack someone's Roblox account?
Right.
That dress to impress is very serious work.
Right. This seems kinda justified. A little. We'll see. Okay. My daughter, 38 female. Oh wait, no, sorry. My 38 female daughter, 13 female. This is about to be so different. Why is a 38-year-old playing Roblox? My 38 female daughter, 13 female, has been playing this game called Roblox since lockdown first started as a way of playing with her friends virtually as well as curing her boredom. She was obsessed with this Roblox game that's set in a school because she missed her friends so much, and it allowed her to stay connected with them. Her interest in video games has developed into an interest in technology. She's by far at the top of her IT class and has started learning how to code in order to make her own game. My sister, 34F, and niece, 10F, have recently had to move in with us after my sister discovered that her husband was having an affair. Ugh.
I can already guess where this is going.
Right? They're staying at my house for the time being while she saves up money for a place of her own. My niece and daughter usually get along, and they both bond over their interest in Roblox. Last week, my daughter was completely distraught and crying nonstop. She said that she saw her cousin playing on a Roblox game and realized her cousin's avatar had a lot more items than usual. She decided to join her, only to realize that her account had been hacked and she lost nearly every item she had on her favorite Roblox game.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
right? She lost 800,000 of the in-game currency and nearly her entire inventory, which she claimed was worth
Jesus.
over 5 million of the in-game currency. Oh my god. That's so
That's
much
a
work.
lot of money, actually.
That's so much work. I She had spent the last 4 years saving up for those items, and everything was gone just like that. My daughter began accusing my niece of hacking her account. My niece denied it at first, but quickly broke under pressure and admitted everything. The previous day, they'd been playing the game together when I called them down to dinner. My niece has only been playing for a few months, and I suppose she would be considered a noob. She begged my daughter to give her some of her items, and my daughter refused, saying that she should earn the items by herself. When my daughter came down, my niece decided to stay behind for a minute and transfer all of my daughter's items into her account. I tried to mediate the situation, but my sister is refusing to cooperate. Stalker.
Then get out of my fucking house.
Right.
Next question.
She told me that it's only a game. It's not like my daughter spent real money on it. I attempted to explain just how much this game means to my daughter, which my sister said that my daughter should count herself lucky that her biggest problem is a bunch of pixels on a screen. She said my daughter was a teenager now and is too old to be acting this immature over the game. She's 13. She's not like 16. She's 13.
Either way, it's her computer
Either
that your
way,
child
right.
ruined.
Like,
So I
imagine.
don't want to fucking hear it.
Right. This is strange. I would. Okay. My niece refuses to give her stuff back and says it's unfair that my daughter gets to have everything she wants, both in real life and online.
It's her
Okay.
house.
It's her shit. Like, I mean, get good, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I told my sister and niece that both of them were acting like ungrateful brats, considering how I was letting them stay in my home rent free. Today, I gave her an ultimatum. If my niece doesn't return everything she had from my daughter, they would both have 1 week to leave. I told her that I refuse to let anyone disrespect my daughter under my roof.
In her
Am
own
I?
house.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Stand
not.
up for your child.
Right. Absolutely stand up for your child. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right. This is not great to me. Like, why would your daughter steal from her cousin? That's weird.
And then why would you condone your daughter stealing from her cousin?
Right. Like,
The
even if
lack
it
of
is
action is you condoning the behavior.
right. Like, that's strange to me cuz my if I did this, I would have got my ass beat.
Personally.
It's just what would happen. Not that I condone hitting children. I'm saying there would have been consequences, you know? You can't take people's stuff even if it's on a video game. Well, to be fair, imagine explaining video game stuff to your parents as a kid. I don't think they would
Yeah,
have
my
taken it
mom wasn't
seriously,
down for
actually.
it. I did. I was that kid. I tried. My mom was not down for it.
They wouldn't have cared now that I think about it. No. No. My parents wouldn't have cared if I took somebody's stuff in a video game. But no, okay, they should have. The point is they should. Okay? That's
Right.
weird. That's bad. That's a bad thing to do.
Bad friend behavior.
It is.
Bad
And this is
cousin
your
behavior.
cousin.
Right.
And she's like 10 years old. I don't think I would have figured out how to do this at 10 years old. How did you?
Exactly. But I think it's also something to do with, and not to sound old as hell, but
Right.
kids these days, the level of entitlement that these parents are instilling on their children.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can do no wrong, so if you think I'm wrong, then obviously you're the one who's wrong. But then when you call them out for it and you point out, oh, hey, this was wrong, they get on the defensive and they're like, well, how was she supposed to know? Or like she said, well, you're being a brat. You shouldn't even be playing that game in the first place.
Right.
Why are you defending the fact that your daughter just straight up stole from someone?
Stole. You're living with your sister for free. She's letting you stay with her.
And your
Also,
grand idea is to let your daughter steal from her
right.
cousin. She doesn't even you don't even make her do one of those little half-assed apologies that I hate.
Right. At least apologize and offer to give the stuff back is my thing.
Because me personally, I'm the kind of person, if you're not going to give it back to my daughter in the first place, then I'm deleting your whole Roblox account. No
Yeah,
one
that
gets to
would
have it.
for me that would have been a fair punishment. You don't get to steal things. Your Roblox account is gone. So now you
No
can
one
start
gets to
over.
have it. Like, if you're not going to, optimally, you would give it back.
Right.
But if you're not going to give it back, then no one gets to have it.
Right. That's so weird to me. I also find it weird. I mean, she says she's letting her live there rent free, but also, would you really charge your sister
I
to
would.
live with you?
Yeah.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Low key, yeah.
But it's, living is too expensive. I'm sorry. We're
Low key,
family.
yeah.
Money, yeah, I'm a grinder, but not like that.
To be fair, I live with my grandma right now for free, but she is my grandma. So I guess it's different when it's your,
I
like,
don't know.
your
I feel like my
sibling.
grandma would have charged me rent too. I need to do a
Dang.
little seance. Let me ask her if she would have charged me rent. I think I know the answer though,
Mm-hmm.
but let me ask anyway.
Dang. Fear I'm just a lucky one because none of my grandmas would charge me rent.
Man, my grandma probably charged me rent just for asking. Seriously though.
I want first and last free for asking that question. And
You
a
know what?
security
And
deposit.
I need to see 3 times. Show me 3 times.
Okay, there's an update. So the update was posted May 30th of 2024. The first post was on May 18th. So this is like a week and a half, a little over a week later.
The first line better be "She gave the stuff back."
Sorry to disappoint. Let's go.
Shit.
Thank you for all your advice. My sister and niece moved out last week. She's in the process of getting an apartment and they're temporarily staying with a friend of my sister's for the time being. I warned her that if I contacted the developers, they would get her daughter banned. So either way, my niece wasn't keeping the stuff she stole. So she should try to minimize her losses. She claimed I had no proof her daughter hacked the account and refused to compromise. That's wild.
That's
So
actually
wild.
crazy. Yeah.
That's actually wild. She obviously stole it. She
Your
said
daughter just started playing the game and suddenly she's got stuff from 4 years ago and there's no proof. Yeah, first of all, I'm cutting you out of my life.
Right, and that same stuff she has, my daughter had 2 days ago.
But now suddenly she doesn't have anymore.
And your daughter has it.
Alright, sure.
Also, I think there are like transfer records in Roblox. Aren't there?
Yeah, there's a record of it, yeah.
Right. So we would just be like, hey, my daughter obviously did not do this.
SMH.
Here we go. She said I was petty and childish for making them quote unquote homeless over a kid's video game. And don't get me wrong, I feel bad, I really do. My sister and I never really got along as kids, so I was hoping at least our kids could have a good relationship with each other. That's where you went wrong. That's where you went wrong. I love my siblings. None of them can live with me. Ever.
Same with my cousins, to be honest.
Like, I love y'all? Hell no. No.
I love you dearly. Here's some ads.
Yeah, I will set you up somewhere else before I let you live with me. But still, they were inevitably going to leave at some point. So I suppose I only sped up the process. Now that my niece is gone, my daughter seems a lot happier now. She told me she was perfectly fine, but I knew her well enough to know that she wasn't. Some very kind and generous people have offered to gift her some of their items to rebuild her account, to which I am extremely grateful. But my daughter said she felt bad about taking stuff from other people, and she was raised right. Yeah, yeah. I had already reported my niece's account, which seems to have no effect. I'm not very tech savvy, but I considered contacting the Roblox developers to see if they could reverse the transaction. However, my daughter informed that doing so would only ban the account, losing all of my daughter's items in the process. I would like to
Well, it seems
extend.
like Pookie Bear, you done lost them anyway, so you might as well go big or go home.
I would like to extend all my thanks to the commenters that suggested I try to log into my niece's account. Believe it or not, it only took 5 attempts. Yeah, she's 10.
That's crazy. Password was probably fucking what's the kid from Trolls? Fucking Lady Doer Sparkles at 45.com or some shit.
Yeah. Turns out the 10-year-olds don't have the best comprehension of internet security. Surprisingly, getting into the account was the easy part. I spent an embarrassingly long amount of time looking up how to trade everything back. I swear I'm getting old. I couldn't tell which items were my daughter's and which were actually my niece's. So I simply transferred everything my niece had just to be safe. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered to me if it was my niece's.
Because your daughter was raised right, and the stuff that isn't hers, she'll give it back.
Right. To me, it wouldn't have mattered if it was the niece's originally anyway. You took all of my daughter's stuff. Now I'm taking all your stuff. You don't get to keep nothing. Start over. You ain't give my daughter. You ain't leave my daughter none of her stuff. Why would you let you keep your stuff?
Exactly.
When she came home from school today, I told my daughter I had a fun surprise for her waiting on Roblox. Words can't describe how proud of myself I felt when I saw the joy rush back into her face. The ironic part is that my niece had previously won this very rare Halo item from this sort of lottery system, which my daughter claims is one of the most expensive items in that game. Now it was transferred to my daughter's account, meaning that my daughter walked out of the situation richer than she was to start with. My sister just messaged me in all caps, yelling at me that my niece has been through so much and I was just kicking her when she was down.
Girl,
she accused me of stealing from a little girl. I simply told her, in her own words, it's just a bunch of pixels on a screen. Thank you to everyone for your support. Hell yeah. Way to go, Mom.
As she should.
As you should.
As she should.
100%.
And maybe this will teach your daughter a thing or two about stealing. Your daughter's a thief, and so are you.
Absolutely. What's wrong with you? I still don't understand how the niece's mom, the aunt, wasn't like at least upset with her daughter for taking someone's stuff.
Literally.
Even if it was a video game, despite that it's a video game, I still feel like my parents would have been like, why would you do that? At the very least.
Just to keep the peace, honestly.
Right. Just to keep the peace. They'd be like, why would you do that? They'd at least get a little mad.
Like, I don't know. Not to sound old. Kids these days. They don't care about anything. Their parents don't care about anything. Nobody cares.
I mean, I can't blame them. Look at how the world is at the moment. It kind of sucks.
Fair.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, so this is one we've both heard before, but I wanted my little shades to hear it as well because it pisses me off. Let's go! This was originally posted on Am I the Asshole? It was then reposted onto Am I the X and Am I the Devil? So Am I the X is for stories about people where at the end it's very clear they've been broken up with, but they somehow still don't know that. So they just repost the story onto Am I the X. Like somebody in the comments will repost their story onto Am I the X. Am I the Devil is where people will find different stories on different threads in Reddit, and they're like, you know what? This person sucks. This person sucks so much. They will repost their story from Am I the Asshole or like whatever back to onto Am I the Devil. So this post is titled, Am I the Asshole for not wanting to close my girlfriend's closet? This first post...
this one.
Yeah. Yeah. This first post was posted on July 20th of 2023. My girlfriend, 24F, and I, 23 male, have been together for almost 3 years now. We get along well and didn't fight much, which is why I'm confused over the situation. Girlfriend lives on her own in an apartment and works full time, whereas I am still living with my parents until I finish college. I was originally planning on moving in with my
Unemployed
girlfriend.
ass. Unemployed ass.
I was originally planning on moving in with my girlfriend into her apartment once she renews her lease, until we had our disagreement. My girlfriend's place is pretty basic. I guess you can say it's got a modern and minimalist look. That is until you go to her bedroom. There's a lot of these glow in the dark stars all over her closet door and wall. I remember when I asked her about it, she told me that when she was young, she experienced a traumatic event. To help with her anxiety, she placed the stars as a guide to help her see if there was a silhouette either in front of the door or if the door was open. Question mark. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes perfect sense to me.
It does.
She said she only asked that I keep the door closed, especially at night. I was understandable about the situation, so when I first spent the night over, I made sure to check if the closet was closed while she slept earlier. Months went by, and there were instances where I did actually forget to close it. She'd wake up the next day and ask me about it. Hey, did you forget to close the closet door last night? I apologized for it, and she'd say something like, please don't forget, next time. Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the person says. I had no problem with it at first, though lately it's been getting annoying. Okay?
Fuck you mean it's been getting annoying?
Close the closet door, you dick.
What's annoying about closing the door that you opened?
Just close it. Like you opened it. It's a closet door. You don't usually leave those open, do you?
Not people with common sense, I suppose.
Right. It felt like that's all she wanted to talk about, and first thing in the morning. I voiced my feelings on it one day, and she just responded by saying, well, then please close the door. It's not that hard. I sometimes deal with sleep paralysis. Woof. I got irritated by that because it felt like she just wanted a reason to nag me. Nag you? You're in her house.
I was about to say, you literally live in her house. You can't nag someone you live with.
What are you?
You don't pay any bills.
Dude, just close the door.
Why
do you even need to open the closet door in her bedroom? Your stuff's not in there.
You don't live here.
Right. One day, I went over to visit her. I decided to purposefully leave... Dickhead. One day, I went over to visit her. I decided to purposefully leave the closet door open while she slept in her bed while I slept on the living room couch, just to see what would happen. Why? Why?
Like, have we explored why you wanted to do that?
Right. Assumed nothing happened since I didn't hear anything. So she's already said she deals with sleep paralysis. You wouldn't hear anything because she deals with sleep paralysis. However, the next day when I woke up, she was sitting at the kitchen table looking as if she'd been crying since her eyes were puffy. Before I could even say a word, she said, I've told you many times that I wanted that closet door closed. It's all I ever asked of you, and you can't even do that. Here's where I might be the asshole. I got angry, and she was already nagging me about this first thing in the morning, so I told her that she's a grown woman and can't rely on some dumb stickers to help her get over something that happened to her years ago. And she needed to get over it. She told me to leave, so I did, because I was mad. It's been a week since then, and I haven't heard anything from her. I didn't want to break up over this, but I want to know if what I said was wrong. My parents and friends are saying my girlfriend is being dramatic, but I want some unbiased opinions on the subject. Edit. I want to clarify that my girlfriend never leaves the closet door open. I would go in to get something and would occasionally forget, but the door always also makes this unbearable squeaking noise when you're trying to close it back up. So that's why I also leave it as it is. That's a dumb reason.
That's the stupidest reason I've ever heard.
Get some fucking WD-40, you dick. I hate this man.
I hate him dearly.
I don't like
I
this
want him
man.
to blow up.
I would blow him up with my mind. I don't like this man. You. And then in the comments, he's like, it's not that big a deal of what her trauma is. So, we're gonna. So, as it turns out, the girlfriend also posted on Reddit. On, I think r/relationships. Also, he was found to be the asshole. Obviously.
Of course he was.
It was overwhelmingly he's the asshole.
I know Reddit is a cesspool, but we're not that much of a cesspool.
I think that's one of my favorite things about Reddit is that when someone's being shitty in a relationship, they will tell them, hey, you're being shitty. They're not going to be like, oh, yeah, your girlfriend's overreacting. They'll be like, no, you're being a piece of shit to your girlfriend.
Literally.
You're being a real dick to your girlfriend. You need to fix that. So the girlfriend has to say this. Sorry if the title sounds... Oh, she titled this post, I dumped my boyfriend for leaving my closet door open.
As you should.
Right. Sorry if the title sounds clickbaity. My ex posted on Am I the Asshole with Am I the Asshole for not wanting to close my girlfriend's closet? And I just wanted a place to respond. My now ex, 23 male, and I, 24 female, were together for 2 years. Would have been 3 years next month. We met through a mutual friend, my roommate at the time, because of our similar interests. You flushed a 2-year relationship down the drain because you didn't want to close a closet door?
Literally.
Wild. For context, I've lived in my apartment for about 4 years. The mutual friend stayed in the beginning, but they moved 3 years ago. So, since I've been living on my own, I was originally going to have my boyfriend move in with me once my lease ended. But of course, change of plans. So, my ex posted on Am I the Asshole for leaving my closet door open, yet he missed very important details. One question that kept appearing was why didn't I close the door, even though I never leave it open, in all caps. Ever since I was little, I've trained my brain to make sure the closet door was closed. I'll add a trigger warning here just in case, but when I was 6, I was sharing a room with my older sister. One night, she went over to her friend's house for a sleepover. My parents and I got home a bit late. I remember it being hot since we had the AC on. I went to bed but was tossing and turning because it was really hot. I kept hearing a noise from somewhere but wasn't sure where it was coming and just assumed it was the AC. I laid on my back just staring at the roof and heard my closet door being opened. My bed was facing towards the closet, so when I moved my head down, I could see this old man coming out of it. I screamed and my parents came running in. My dad grabbed me and I saw my mom hitting that man with one of her favorite pans. We called the police and later found out this man was homeless and must have snuck in while we were away and hid in the closet when he heard my parents' car come in. Since then, I've suffered from PTSD and fear of someone coming in my closet again. I slept with my parents for a few years after that. We moved to another state once I hit high school. My parents got me a therapist when the incident occurred, and to this day, I'm still going to therapy. I felt like it wasn't working though, because it's just like I was venting and the therapist would go, uh-huh, and how does that make you feel? Instead of suggesting something to help me. That was until my current therapist. She suggested that I could use something like a nightlight and place it by the closet. Then I asked if I could use something else, like something that could stick onto the walls. It was first these big glow-in-the-dark dino stickers. I felt kind of silly about it at first when I did it, but when I had my sleep paralysis. I was still scared, but was now able to tell what was sleep and what wasn't, and it gave me a sense of comfort. I changed the themes occasionally to dinos, planets, and now stars. For the past 7 years, it's worked for me. So, in other versions of the story, which I've heard, she was 10 years old. She was 6. That makes it so much worse.
Literally.
I can't imagine being 6 years old and there's a man staring down at me from inside my closet. I would lose my mind.
I would freak out.
That would traumatize me today, and I'm 24. I can't imagine dealing with that at 6 years old. That's bad. I moved out of my parents' home at 20 to live in an apartment with my friend who who I met in college. I only went for 2 years. I explained to her about my situation because we shared a room and there was only one closet. She understood me completely. She only ever left it open once when she came home from a night shift. She was remorseful and never did it again when she saw how bad I suffered from it. Now to my ex. We pretty much clicked when we met. Had similar hobbies, like exploring new foods. It was fun. I also told him about my trauma. Asked that I didn't mind it being open during the day, but at night it needed to be closed no matter what. He could still put or take them out of it, but to close it back up. He complied throughout the entirety of our relationship. It wasn't until a few months ago where he started to act very controlling. He would say small comments about certain foods I would eat, like how it would affect my liver or something, and recommend other things. I brushed it off, thinking he was just looking out for my health. It started getting to the point where he suggested I quit my job at one point when he finished college and moved in, but I told him it would be beneficial for both of us to be working. He never asked again. However, he did start asking things like if I could cook for him, even though I said I was tired from work, and would I stop working if he made enough money for the both of us, if I still wanted kids. I think he wanted to ask me to become a stay-at-home wife slash mother, but I could be overanalyzing. That's exactly what he wanted.
Exactly.
That is exactly what he wanted. I don't understand. Your dude is he's our age. He's 23. Why are you already trying to make someone a stay-at-home mom? You're not even out of college yet.
Weak ass salary.
You don't even have a job. What are you talking about? On the night before we broke up, he decided to quote unquote test me. I had the worst hallucination since I was a teenager. I wake up, see the door open, and start to imagine the man I saw all those years ago. When I woke up the next day, it was around 4 a.m. I was able to move and started to cry immediately, to the point where I couldn't shed any more tears, apart from the migraine from crying too hard. I felt a numbness. So when he woke up a few hours late, I waited for him in the kitchen, just honestly feeling tired. I didn't yell, I just spoke in a monotone voice. I told him how I had one rule, and that was to close the door. He got defensive, saying he felt like I was lying about my trauma just to see if he would care for me. Who would lie about that?
Literally who?
What is that to even lie about? I saw a man in my closet when I was 6 years old?
What is that to accuse someone of lying about?
Right. What? To see if you take care of me. Why would I care about you taking care of me? You don't have a job, dude. I told him to leave while I thought things over. I never ignored him, and he never texted me back for the whole week. But now I know for sure that there's no saving this relationship. And you can get your stuff from your brother. I already told him what you did. So good luck. I'll be moving in with my sister out of town. I'm not renewing my lease. I just want to be with people who actually support me.
Wow.
Oh, and she added some more in the comments. I can't add anything more to the post, so I'm answering some questions people kept asking. Why did he keep going in the closet? I feel like people are assuming he would go in at every hour, but no, he would just come in to get his textbook if he was studying an exam. And was like once every few weeks, and I would still be awake watching a movie on my phone.
I personally would still have to beat his ass, personally.
Yeah. Haha. Oh my god, her ex found her post. He said, so you had time to make a Reddit about me, but can't even answer the phone? And she said, shoot, I forgot to block you on here too.
That's so funny.
That's so funny. So yeah, the test sucks. He's a piece of shit. I don't understand your logic behind this. Why does it matter? Just close the door. Like, it's not your apartment. Just close the door.
This isn't your house.
This isn't your house. You don't live here. This guy sucks. He sucks. I don't like him. He is the asshole. He sucks. I'm glad she broke up with him.
He is so the asshole.
Like, I can't imagine caring this much about something so small. It's her house. She says close the closet door. Close the closet door. Why are you even putting your stuff in there? Like, I don't even see a point to that. He sucks. He sucks. Alright, I'm gonna find another story.
Mm.
He just sucks. God. Part of stuff like this is why I'm single. Imagine being with somebody for 2 years and then they start doing shit like that. Crazy. Ooh, okay. This post is titled, Am I the Asshole? I put a lock on my door after my sister's fiance went through my drawers.
Why would they do that?
Right?
Is today's whole thing just why would you do that?
Yeah, that's the theme for this episode. Why? Just why? This was originally posted July 16th, 2024. TLDR, my sister's fiance was found to be going through my drawers, and they're both hurt about my reaction of putting locks on my bedroom after this single event. Long story, my sister and her fiance moved in with my parents and I a couple of weeks ago. Backstory, they're not the tidiest people and don't clean up after themselves. The last lease wasn't extended, and they hadn't really bothered looking for places to move into. They just assumed they could move in the meantime while trying to find somewhere else. They smoke a lot of weed and both don't work. How do they have an apartment if they both don't have a job?
And they both smoke a lot of weed.
How are you buying weed with no money? One morning, when everyone was out, my dad had just been in the shower. He had walked past my room and found my sister's fiance in there, going through my drawers saying I was trying to find some of sister's underwear. That's so weird.
That's such a weird thing to do.
That's weird to do. When my dad had told me, I felt completely violated and upset because my personal space had been entered and my stuff rummaged through. I asked for locks to be put on the door. I have quite a bit of expensive jewelry, clothes, and electronics in my room. I guarantee you he was looking for cash.
You know, even worse, I don't think he was.
I know. I didn't want to go there, though. That was my first thought. I was immediately like, he was trying to get some of your underwear. But I don't want to be like, oh, please don't be a creep. My sister and her fiance are super offended at the locks being put onto the doors. They're quote-unquote hurt and feel like they're not trusted. And the fiance is under the impression that we think he is a creep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're a creep. Duh. Why'd you go through my drawers? They think how I reacted to it is uncalled for. Am I actually the asshole for being upset and wanting a lock on my door? The fiance reckons he only did it without letting me know because he felt like we are family, even though my own family wouldn't rummage through my drawers. Yeah, that's what got me. Like, no one's looking through my stuff. I ain't looking through their stuff. Why are you in my room, first of all?
Literally.
Why are you in here?
You're not supposed to be in here.
Right. This isn't your space. Why are you... What? There's an update. Thank you for everyone making me feel like I wasn't going crazy here. They've decided to move out to a friend's house as they didn't feel comfortable in the house anymore. Wow. Go figure. Insert biggest eye roll here. Dad didn't immediately kick them out as he was in shock about this whole situation too, and wanted to protect his other daughter as well, but is very happy they are going after thinking everything through. Also, thank you to everyone for the English lessons with my accent draw and drawers both being the same. I'm from across the pond and haven't replied to anything because of time difference. You know, the fiance's a creep. I feel like he was...
Absolutely a creep.
Why would he be looking for his fiance's underwear in a place where they definitely would not be? Why would her sister have her underwear? That makes no sense. Either he was being a creep or he was being a thief. It's one of those two. It has to be.
And neither of them are good.
Right. They both suck. And then to move out being like, we don't feel comfortable, go fuck yourself.
Literally. Like, the whole theme of today's episode is, why would you do that? Go fuck yourself.
Right. Why? Just why? Okay. Let's find another one. Ooh, okay, perfect. It's perfect for the theme. Am I the asshole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after she publicly humiliated my son? Yay.
What?
This sounds fun. originally posted July 18th, 2024. A few months ago, my sister, let's call her Jane, got engaged and started planning her wedding. Jane is 37 years old. Growing up, we were always close, sharing secrets and supporting each other through life's ups and downs. However, Jane has always had a tendency to be backhanded and passive aggressive. She would make snide remarks under the guise of concern and often find it subtle ways to belittle me or others. Despite this, I, 34F, always tried to maintain a good relationship with her, believing that deep down she cared for me. This all came to a head during a recent family gathering at Jane's house. My son, Liam, who is 7 years old, has a bladder issue. He's 7? Jesus.
You embarrassed a 7-year-old?
This is a child. My son, Liam, who is 7 years old, has a bladder issue that sometimes causes him to have accidents. Right, because he's 7. We've been working with doctors and trying our best to manage it, but it's a sensitive topic for him. During the gathering, Liam had an accident. He was embarrassed, and I was in the process of helping him clean up when Jane noticed. Instead of being understanding or discreet, Jane loudly pointed it out in front of everyone. She said things like, "How disgusting," and "At his age, this is unacceptable." She even went as far as to say that Liam should be ashamed of himself, and criticized me for not getting him under control. Her comments made Liam burst into tears, and I quickly took him home to comfort him. Fuck this lady.
Literally.
Fuck this lady. What?
What if it's one of those situations, though, where it's like, oh yeah, my son has a bladder issue, and the bladder issue is that he just doesn't like going to the bathroom. You're laughing, but I have a cousin like that. It's like,
No.
she has a bladder issue. She doesn't have a bladder issue.
She just doesn't want to go to the bathroom.
She's too lazy to go to the bathroom.
Imagine. So, my thing wasn't this bad, but when I was a kid, I didn't like tying my own shoes. Like, I knew how. I just wanted the adults to do it for me. So I just pretended I didn't know how. They caught me, though. So eventually I had to tie them myself. But I fully was like, I'm not tying my shoes. This is not my responsibility. This is an adult's job. Listen, and I fully just refused to tie them.
They've been doing it the whole time. What's with the switch up?
Right. It's like, this isn't my job. This is an adult's job. I think it's because I couldn't get them, like, as tight as, like, the adults tied them. I was like, I'm not doing this. This is my problem. I'm not doing it.
No ill-tied shoes.
Right. I need tightly tied shoes for me to be wearing every day. But yeah, this lady sucks. He's 7. It'd be a different story if he was like 10 or like 13. He's 7 years old.
Poor baby.
Also, maybe just get him like some pull-ups, man.
Do they make pull-ups for 7-year-olds?
I mean, if not pull-ups, he could get like a small size adult diaper.
True.
It's like, there was no point. He could have just like had an adult diaper on and then boom, bathroom, change the diaper, you're on your way. Like, this didn't need to be. Yeah. But no, Jane sucks. Jane sucks bad. As I was gathering our things to leave, Jane came over, still clearly upset. She asked me why I was leaving. What do you mean, why am I leaving?
What the fuck do you mean, why am I leaving?
What do you mean? You just told the entire house how my son peed himself. Why would I stay? I looked at her, trying to keep my voice calm for Liam's sake, and said, "Jane, I think it's best if we go home. Liam is very upset right now." Jane rolled her eyes at me. "Oh, come on. It's just an accident. He needs to learn how to handle these things better. You can't just coddle him forever. He's 7.
I don't understand that.
He's 7 years old. This is a first or second grader, man. What are you... My patience was wearing thin, but I tried to explain again. "Jane, Liam has a medical condition. We're working with doctors, and it's a sensitive issue for him. Your comments just now were really hurtful. I was just telling the truth. He needs to toughen up. You're not doing him any favors by babying him." At this point, I was furious.
And you should be.
At this point, I was furious, but didn't want to escalate the situation in front of Liam. I took a deep breath and said, "We'll talk about this later, Jane. For right now, I need to take care of my son." She's done so good. I hate this. I would have punched her. I'm not gonna lie.
Right in the mouth.
I would have slapped her or something. Without waiting for a response, I gathered Liam and headed to the car. On the drive home, I couldn't shake the image of Jane's face and her harsh words. This wasn't the first time she had made Liam feel bad about his condition. Each time, I had hoped she would understand and show some empathy, but it seemed like she was only getting worse. So this is a repeated offense. What's wrong with her?
And why are you still taking your son around this woman?
Right. Like, I feel like after the first 2 times, they'd be like, nah, we're good. We don't need to go see her.
We don't need to go see you no more.
If she's there, we don't want to be. I'm good. You know? The next day, I called Jane to talk about what happened. This conversation is from what I can remember. I wanted to explain again, away from the heat of the moment, and hope she would see reason. Jane, about yesterday, I need you to understand how much your words hurt Liam. He's really struggling, and your comments made him feel even worse. Instead of apologizing, Jane was very defensive. I'm not going to apologize for telling the truth. You need to stop coddling him, and he needs to learn to deal with the real world. What real world? He's 7.
I was about to say, what real world are you talking about?
He's 7 years old. This is a child. He's 7. What? Her response was like a punch to the gut. I had hoped for some empathy, some understanding, but it was clear she wasn't going to give it. Jane, I don't think you understand how serious this is. He has a medical condition. It's not something he can just toughen up from. She told me, look, I have a wedding to plan. I don't have time for this drama. You started it. You embarrassed my son about weddings. He's 7 years old.
Literally a baby.
That's a baby. She told me, look, I have a wedding to plan. I don't have time for this drama. When Jane's wedding invitations went out, I received one, but I felt conflicted. On one hand, she's my sister and it's a significant event in her life. On the other hand, I couldn't forget how she humiliated my son and refused to apologize. After much thought, I decided to decline the invitation. I didn't feel comfortable celebrating with someone who had been so cruel to my child.
Literally.
Right. When Jane found out, she was livid. She accused me of trying to ruin her special day and called me
Maybe I won't
petty.
even be there. How am I ruining it if I'm not there?
Right. She called me petty and overdramatic. Some family members sided with her, saying I should let it go for the sake of family harmony, while others understood my decision and supported me. This wasn't the first time.
I'm not gonna support you in fucking bullying my child.
Right. That's a child, you weirdo.
My little boy, my son, who's already going through something that's actually kind of crazy.
Right. He's already dealing with something that really sucks, and you're like, just toughen up, man. It's a 7-year-old child, you weird bitch. This wasn't the first time Jane had said something like this. She has a history of making hurtful comments about Liam's condition, and generally lacks sensitivity when it comes to his medical issues. Each time I've tried to address it calmly, hoping she would eventually understand and be more considerate. Unfortunately, she never changes, and her behavior continues to hurt my son. Jane has been blowing up my phone, including other family members. Now, I'm left questioning if I'm the asshole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding. I don't want to cause family drama, but I also feel strongly about standing up for my son.
There is no drama. I'm just not going. Period. Right. Point blank, period. You continue to be an asshole to my son, and I'm going to continue to not allow it. That is just how the cookie crumbles.
Right. This wedding is just the latest incident in a long line of hurtful behavior from Jane, and I'm not sure how much more I can take. So, am I the asshole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after she publicly humiliated my son?
No.
No!
Absolutely not.
The fuck?
You've never been less of an asshole, actually.
This is so weird to me. I don't... Like, this reminds me of when people have a baby, the family's like, oh, you can't hold him all the time, you're gonna spoil him. That's a baby.
He's a baby.
It's literally a baby.
Babies.
You can't spoil a baby. It's a baby. Oh, he's just gonna want you all the time. He's my child. I would hope. This shit weirds me out. I don't understand. Okay. There's an update about 10 hours later. Hi all, it's been a few hours since I made my first post. I wanted to say thank you for all the love going to my son, Liam. It truly means the world. I wanted to address some things. The reason I bring Liam to these gatherings is because he loves his cousins. He enjoys spending time with the family. Liam doesn't like wearing pull-ups or diapers of any form. Ah, that's why I haven't been using them unnecessarily. Now to the further update. I've talked to Liam about what happened. I told him that it wasn't his fault at all, and that Aunt Jane was just being very rude and inconsiderate. I told him that he's an amazing boy and to never let anyone say otherwise. My son was very happy to hear this. He told me what Jane had said to him hurt his feelings a lot, and I completely understood. That weird bitch. I asked him if he wanted to continue to go to the family events. He said no. I fully supported his decision. My son comes first, and the comments have helped me realize that I've let Jane walk all over me with the fear of causing a tear in the family. Now I'm going little to no contact with Jane. I'll send her the occasional holiday message, but that's it. I cannot be around someone who hurts my son. I felt as if I failed as a mom, and the comments have truly opened my eyes, so thank you all. As for the people who in my family who support my sister, I've blocked them all. I refuse to allow people who agree with her mentality to be involved in my son's life. I love my son with all my heart, and I would do anything for that little guy. I think that I should have put a stop to it sooner and regret not doing that. However, I know that I can be a better mom, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I messaged the family that was contacting me in a mass group chat and told them that we would no longer be coming to any family events. Good for her. If they wanted to see my son, they would have to come individually, or the event would have to be hosted by me. I also told them that my sister's behavior needs to be fixed, because that was the reason our family is being torn apart. Not because I'm not going to her wedding, because she decided to make fun of my child. My mother is on my side and fully supports my decision. My father is still stuck in the middle, and for that I think I should go low contact with him too.
And should.
You should. I'm going to keep in touch with you all and keep the updates coming whenever I can. All I know is that even if she gives my son the apology he deserves, I want nothing to do with her. I don't want her around my son. Yeah, Jane's an asshole. I still don't understand why she's so upset over a 7-year-old with a bladder issue. This is a medical problem. He's not doing it on purpose.
She's just a bitch. Honestly, she's just a bitch.
She's just a bitch. Like, yeah. He's 7, you weirdo. Yeah, this really fits with our theme. Why just why? Just why? Why do you care so much about? Why are these people, they suck. They all suck. Okay, I think I found like a final story for the day.
Okay.
It's titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Best Friend I Don't Want to Hear About Her Shitty Boyfriend Anymore? Woof. Can't relate. I mean, all my friends are in happy relationships. Sadly, I don't get to talk shit about their partners because they all are good. So, here we go. Hi Reddit, I'm feeling really bad about this and need advice. I, F23, have been friends with my BFF Kayla since we were 11. Wow. She is awesome and has supported me through some really tough times, and I've been there for her through a lot of shit too. We've never fallen out, and we've always supported each other until now. Kayla has been with her boyfriend James for just over 2 years now. I liked him at first. He was good to her. He made her happy, so I was happy. But for the last year or so, every time I have been seen or chatted to Kayla, all she's done is complained about him. Some of the stuff she has told me about him is super gross, and I've lost all respect for him. And in turn, I started losing respect for her. She's also changed a lot since being with him. She used to want to travel the world, explore and experience new things. Now she never leaves her house and wants to be a stay-at-home mother by the time she's 25. Woof. 25 and a stay-at-home mom? It makes me sad to see she has lost her sparkle. It all came to a head when we went for dinner for my birthday. She spent the whole night complaining about James. As always, telling me way too much personal stuff about him, and just generally moaning. It was after we had finished our meal when I finally snapped and said I don't want to hear any more about her shitty boyfriend because everything I advised her to do, she just ignores and I have nothing left to say to her. I told her she should dump him if she hates him so much, and if she isn't going to dump him, then to quit bitching about him all the time because I didn't want to hear it anymore. I had quite a few glasses of wine and was just feeling super bummed because she'd made my whole birthday dinner about her and her stupid boyfriend.
Right.
This was 5 days ago, and she hasn't spoken to me since. I messaged her the next morning, apologizing and asking if we could meet up and talk about it, but she hasn't responded. So, Reddit, am I the asshole?
No.
You know, I would say a very soft asshole. I'm leaning honestly towards not the asshole. I understand. So there's two sides to this. One, if you're not going to do anything to change your situation, please stop complaining to me about your situation. I'm tired of hearing it. If you don't do anything to change it, obviously you don't care. On the other side, this is your friend, you know? Like, if she had just told her, hey, can we just not talk about him for the day? That's one thing. But she's just sort of holding on to resentment instead of just talking to her friend, you know? There's an update. Hi guys, my post got quite a lot of traction, so I thought I would update you all. Firstly, thank you so much for everyone who commented and messaged me. Nice or not, it was great to get everyone's opinion. So, I wrote Kayla a letter. It felt very formal and weird to do, but for some reason doing it over text felt wrong. I wanted her to know I am sincere. I said that I love her and I value our friendship extensively, and apologized for the way I spoke to her. I said alcohol wasn't to blame. I spoke to her like an asshole and she didn't deserve it. I wrote that I felt frustrated about the situation for a long time now because it upset me seeing her so frustrated and upset all the time with the person who's supposed to cherish and respect her the most. I told her that I wholeheartedly believe she should end the relationship. I said I knew this wasn't my place to say and that she didn't need to take my advice and that I would support her in whatever decision she made. But if she decided to stay with him, I need her to stop complaining to me about James and their relationship because it was just too draining for me to hear it. I said of course she should talk to me about anything major, but hearing the same complaints on almost a daily basis was exhausting, especially when she wouldn't take or even listen to any advice. Right. I made sure to tell her that I loved her and I apologized again. I actually apologized 4 times in the letter. But I put it through her front door the day after I posted on here. She called me yesterday and asked to meet. I went round to her place last night and we just talked for over 2 hours. She told me she actually broke up with James the day after my birthday. Yay! Apparently, me snapping at her about it shocked her into realizing how often she was upset by him and how much she complained. She has spent the last few days processing everything, so that's why I hadn't heard from her, which is so valid. She actually thanked me for doing it, which is crazy. She said although I was a bit of an asshole, it was what she needed to hear. We both cried a lot and hugged it out and watched 90 Day Fiancé. I think it's safe to say we'll be okay. She was obviously struggling because she's grieving their relationship, and breakups are awful. But I will support her through this, like I always do, because I know that she will support me when I get my next heartbreak. So, TLDR is that me stabbing at my best friend at my birthday dinner for complaining about her boyfriend for the whole meal caused her to dump him. I didn't lose a friendship, I actually got my best friend back, and I can't wait to support her while she finds herself again. Thank you all again. Have a great day, everyone. Well, I'm happy.
Exactly.
I'm glad she got out of there.
She won that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to play D&D with us?
Oh. I'm glad that it ended the way it did because so many times I see it. A girl will have a shitty boyfriend who's making her like a smaller version of herself. And her friends will tell her, hey, your boyfriend sucks. You know, you're great, but your boyfriend sucks and you should break up with him. And instead of, hearing her friends out, she'll be like, no, fuck you guys, and just cut her friends off to be with her boyfriend. So I'm glad this ended the way it did.
Exactly, because half the time they would break up with a friend,
Right.
lose their friends, get isolated from their friends,
And this was going
and
on for so
then
long.
have such a shitty boyfriend and no support system.
Right. And also to me, what I always find strange about it, to be fair, it does seem like the friend was in a at least emotionally abusive relationship. So they're very good at the bait and switch. And you're like, well, this guy is so great. Obviously, he just loves me and wants what's best for me. But it's also like, if every single one of my friends who I've known for years, who all love me, are saying, hey, this guy sucks, I feel like you just gotta be like, damn, does he suck? I'm glad. I'm glad. We're ending today on a happy note. My first episode was
Exactly.
just sad shit. So I'm glad we got some sort of happiness out of this.
We got it. We got it figured out.
Right. I'm glad.
Eventually.
I'm glad for her friend. Well, thank you for joining me today, Satch.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me as well, my little shades. I will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.